Hello, Vijay. Good morning. Good
Good morning.
morning, one and all. Good morning, one and all. The expert in anything was once a beginner. I, Usha C S, Assistant Professor and Google DSC Faculty Coordinator, VVCE, Mysuru, take this privilege to welcome Mr. Vijay Krishan Pandey for today's event. I also
Thank you, ma'am.
welcome all the participants who have joined us to know how to clear interview process and land an awesome job. Mr. Vijay completed his schooling from City Montessori School and graduated from Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad 2020 batch. Now, Vijay is a Google software engineer. So, what's up, Vijay?
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me. It's wonderful if I can, if my advices help anyone to get their dream job, and it's been a wonderful time after I posted on LinkedIn about my job, and the wishes and the response getting, it was overwhelming for me, and I try to help many people, but I think through this video, if I could help even one person, I'll be really happy.
That's good, Vijay. Well, Vijay, there is a saying that if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. Did you ever dream of becoming an employee at Google? And what made you to think of BTech?
Yes, I did dream of getting a job at Google because I think that's the first company that comes to your mind when before you actually start your graduation. So after I got into my college, this was actually never a dream. Like I shifted my focus to improving my coding. Like to get good coding skills was became my actual motivation. Before my graduation, obviously, the only company that comes to mind is Google. So I did dream of becoming a software engineer at Google, and luckily I got the chance.
Okay, that's really great, Vijay. And hey, was there any influence on you to take up this career or course? Maybe your family, your friends, your cousins, or seniors, anything like that?
There was no influence from my family, but I remember in my 11th or 12th, I really started liking computer science, and I thought that if I can study any subject in my graduation, this would be computer science or mathematics, because I think mathematics was another subject which I really liked. So obviously in computer science, mathematics is involved, and you should have a good understanding of mathematics in order to have good coding skills. So I think computer science and mathematics match each other. So I think this was the obvious choice for me.
Okay. What's the biggest factor that has helped you to be so successful?
Uh, I would not call it as a success, but if you ask me about getting a job at Google, I think I invested my time a lot in improving my coding. I am not a very pro coder, but the most of the part of my graduation I spent on giving a competitive coding contest and trying to improve my coding skills and improving the knowledge of DSNL. And these are the things which the companies ask in the interview, and especially Google, they majorly focus on problem solving and testing how much you are collaborative and how and if you have any leadership qualities. So these two factors uh, are on the basis of what Google tests you, and I think I spent my major time in developing these skills, and that really helped me.
Okay. What was your major inspiration, getting into the Google or whatever you have achieved till date? Any inspiration like that, which you can
So
share with
yeah,
us?
sure. So in my college, we have a club known as Computer Club. So in that club, our seniors take classes, and they teach their juniors about DSN algo and machine learning, web development, Android development. So seeing these bunch of seniors and how much impact they were having on us and how much knowledge they had, all these seniors inspired me to become better, to do a bit hard work and to improve my knowledge. So, and particularly I remember a senior, Mr. Vakesh Verma. He also joined Google with me this year, and he influenced me a lot. Like, he was really great. He is a really great competitive coder, and he influenced me a lot.
Okay. Well, tell me something about like how hard was it to get an interview at Google. We know that it's really hard, but we want to know from your side.
Uh, I think it's not that hard right now. Maybe 2 or 3 years back, when they did not have so many open positions, particularly in Google India. So the hiring was done on the basis of Kickstart ranks. So Google conducts about 6 to 7 rounds every month in a year, which they call as the Kickstart. So for students, the hiring is done on the basis of the ranks they secure in Kickstart. So Kickstart is a coding competition of 3 hours where you face about 4 questions. So about 2 or 3 years back, you should have a rank of about within 100 or at max within 150 to get a call from a Google recruiter. But now, since I think they have many open positions even for fresh grads, they are definitely calling people for interviews. So getting an interview is not tough, but yes, maybe passing it is still a bit tough.
Okay, practice makes man perfect. So, how could you get equipped for Google interview?
So I remember, like, in my final year, placement season begins in the month of July. So after my internship got over at Myntra, I got a pre-placement offer from Myntra, and after that, I knew that Google India would be hiring in 2019 because it was hiring a lot in the previous year. So after getting my PPO, I began preparing for Google. So my preparation basically consisted of giving competitive coding contest, and I also try to solve some questions on lead code as Google recruiter suggested me. Then in October, actually I applied. I got a referral from a Google engineer. So I got a call within 1 or 2 days, and then the whole process followed.
Okay, that's good actually. Were you interested in coding before?
I was interested in coding. I think in class 10th I was interested, but I really didn't know what is this competitive coding. And there are websites that have good questions, and people try to solve and improve their knowledge. I didn't know this. I just try to solve questions which my class teacher gave me. And after I entered college, I came to know about this term, competitive coding, and that is where my interest. I started exploring it, and gradually my interest also increased in this.
Okay, what part of the coding makes you more interesting?
Uh, I think actually trying to try to toil hard and work hard in order to gain a solution. Like, sometimes you really face a problem which you have to think on paper. You have to make test cases. You have no solution. You start with a brute force approach and you try to optimize it, and when finally you get an accepted code, the happiness you get is unmatchable.
See, when the students are entering into the coding, they get too many confusions where to start from because we are having many programming languages. So, if you could say where to start from, it would help them to begin their career.
So I think, like, all of us in our graduation are taught C language. Like, it's the first language that we are taught. So if you can just start with C language also, then also it would be fine, because ultimately it is
Yeah.
your ability to think how you can come to a solution. It's not that how much knowledge you have in a language. Obviously language will help you to code the solution, but the main part is if you can think that how you will come up to a solution, that is what matters. So you can start with C, and then you can move on to either Java, Python, or C++. So I majorly gave my competitive coding contest in C++, and gradually, the more the number of questions you do, obviously the your knowledge in a particular language will obviously improve. So I think people should not really care about what language should they choose. They should like try to do more questions, and as many questions you will do, obviously the knowledge of language will also improve.
Yeah, sure, I agree with you. We know that as we are working in a technical institute, we know how it's difficult to manage time because you will be having subjects to study, labs to do, and assignments, internals, externals, everything. So, between all these stuffs, how could you organize your time?
I think first of all, like you should have understanding that your college marks will definitely help you in placements, but will not take you somewhere. Like after you leave college, nobody is going to ask you about these marks. So if you spend a major portion of your time in studying whatever is taught in your classroom, or if you try to if you are investing a lot of time in doing assignments, obviously that is not going to help you. So what I did was, so I was a backbencher in my college. I never I never really focused on what the teacher was teaching. Like if it was of something of my interest, I did focus. But later, as like in my first year, I really thought that these marks will help me in some way. I really did care about those marks. But after as some time, when I came to know that I can manage marks if I study maybe a 1 or 2 weeks before the exam starts. So my strategy was to spend my time in trying to solve questions. Whenever the class begins, I used to take a back seat, and I used to try to come to a solution which I couldn't solve earlier. So and before the exam started, like 1 or 2 weeks before that, I started studying for the semester. And if you can realize the importance of marks and coding, that is only when you can manage the time.
Yeah, that's really great. Changes everything. We know, even we will look for to have a change in whatever the things we do. So, if you could bring about one change in your job, what would it be?
Definitely, like I would not like to continue this work from home much longer. Like I want to explore Bangalore because I spent 2 months in my summers and in my internship, and at that time I couldn't explore it much. But this time I was looking forward to my job, to going to a new city and exploring its food, various places. And now due to this pandemic, it's all not possible. I'm really happy and lucky to be at a safer place in my home eating good food. But I think one thing which I would like to discontinue is this work from home.
Exactly. Even we are get bored of working from home or teaching online. We want to see
Mhm.
our students on campus. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Uh, what is that one piece of conventional advice that you strongly disagree?
Uh, One piece of conventional advice, I think it would be like to get into a good college, to bring good marks. Like our education system is heavily focused on bringing good marks in each and every point in your life. Like you see, right from like fifth or sixth class, like college, like our school had a ranking system. They used to grade students. When we reached 10th, we were told that study this year, your life will be great. Then we reached 12th, study this year, life will be great. So I think if we attach less importance to marks and to how much good you are in comparison to someone else, if we try to remove this thing in the mind of students, I think there will be less pressure. And it's very important to keep your mind in a healthy state. Like, because if your mind will be in a healthy state, then only you can really work hard on something you really like. So I think this whole system of giving too much importance to marks, to getting into a good college, like I think this should not be given much importance. You can see many people who are from, as they call, tier 2 or tier 3 colleges, working in many great companies. So definitely, if you study at IIT or NITs, it gives you a good environment. Like there will be a lot of students in your group who really work hard and they inspire you. But it doesn't matter from which college you are. If you have that passion, there are tons of resources available online. There are many people to whom you can go out and seek for an advice. It's just that it should come from within you.
Yeah, well, one doubt that I have is how the comparative programming would help the students and how the comparative programming helped you in preparing for your placements.
So each and every company has a coding round as the first round. So where they ask about 2 or 3 questions, and you have to solve it within a time limit. Uh, Mostly it's of 1 hour. So definitely competitive programming improves your logical thinking. It improves your knowledge about data structures and algorithms. Also, after you pass the coding round, companies have technical rounds in which they definitely ask you a question and you have to try to come up to a solution. So competitive programming will help you in improving your logical thinking. It will improve your knowledge about data structures and algorithms, and it will definitely help you in getting job.
Okay. So we know the whenever we want to get placed in any of the company or when you want to attend the placements, we should have a qualities like top skills and all. So if you
Yes.
can tell us what are the top skills now, so that the students could grab it and they could be placed even more in a very good company.
So you're asking about top skills to get placed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think good coding skills would be the first.
Yeah.
Second would be to have good communication skills, because I think people don't realize it until they actually face an interview, is that you should have good communication skills, because it's not just about trying to code a solution. It's also about if you can explain your teammate or with the person with whom you are going to work, if you can explain your ideas to him, then only actually the company will try to hire you, because you're not going to work alone. You will be working within a team of 5 or 10 members. So so they also look out if you have good communication skills or not. I think these only having these 2 skills will help you in getting a job in any company you like.
Okay, there is one question from the student. Like, what's the difficulty now the students they may face due to this pandemic? So, any tips that if you want to give to the students, those who are live now?
So I think one thing they'll obviously miss is the feel that they'll get in when the companies will come to the campus, and all the preparation of wearing a nice dress and entering the interview room. That is only what will be missed. Other than that, the companies have not stopped hiring. They're hiring equally as they were hiring before the pandemic. Uh, Obviously, like, this pandemic is a simple jerk on the knee for the companies. Like, it's a very short period of time, maybe 6 months more. After that, everything will, I hope everything gets normal. So they are hiring in equal numbers as they were hiring the previous year. There's no change in that. It's just that you will have to give an interview from your home uh, through a meeting through your webcam. So you should be prepared for that. Many like, I know it will be tough for you to explain your solution on a Google Doc or on your laptop instead of trying to write or draw something on a white blackboard. So just get prepared for that. And other than that, I think there'll be not much change.
Yeah, that's really good. What's the best advice that you can give to all the students?
So I think like, I see like nowadays this whole coaching industry, or like ed tech startups have started, like, they have started their own business of giving out referrals, or of teaching students how to master DSL Go, or top 500 questions that will surely get you placed in Amazon. And you just give them 500 rupees and you'll get top 500 questions. So I think students should really get themselves away from all these companies. They're just looking to get easy money out of students who are trying to get placed in companies. There are tons of resources available on internet. You just need to go out there and try to invest your time, practice, and improve yourself. Don't look out for a hero who will come and grab your hand and get you placed in a company. Be your own hero.
Okay. Anything other than this, our students are expecting you to give an advice on what did you all do in your engineering? What about the courses and whatever the comparative programming or coding, whatever you did? What and all you did during your engineering course? They wanted to know that actually.
So, like in my first year, I wasted my time entirely. I didn't do anything. In my second year, I did competitive programming, which helped me to grab an internship at Myntra. In my third year, I did competitive programming, but did too much. Later, when I did my internship, that is where I learned a great deal about software development. Like, I think internship improves you a lot. It helps you to gain confidence. You should really look out for internship. Even after your first year, you can look out for internships. Many startups hire even first year students. You can look out for internships there. You can even try to explore a research internship. Many IITs or many government institutes uh, give internship to second year students. You can do that. I think you should definitely try to invest your free time in doing an internship, because the experience you gain through an internship is unmatchable. Like, if you try to do a personal project and if you do a project in any company, the difference in learnings will be to a very great level. You will learn how you can be collaborative with your team. You will get away from that shyness of asking someone a doubt. So look out for internships and keep coding.
Okay. What sort of questions that the students may expect in the Google interview? They wanted to know this.
Think I should not exactly tell what questions they ask, but
Yeah.
it can be from any topic. Like, there's no particular set of questions that they ask you. It can be from any topic. Even they can ask you NP hard problem. NP hard means like it doesn't has an optimized solution. You have to come
Yeah.
up even with an exponential situation. They may even ask you not to code a solution, but just to discuss it. Like, they would ask how you will go about this problem. So you might face something quite different from the traditional coding questions you find on sites like LeetCode or Codeforces. So you should be ready for all that, and they can ask anything. They can ask any question that involves algorithms, data structures, or logical thinking, and you'll not be asked anything other than that. They don't ask anything about your personal projects or about technical knowledge like OS, DBMS, networking. They don't ask these questions. They ask only problem solving, but you should be prepared for any topic.
Yeah, even they expected that they did not ask the particular question. Like they wanted to know which are the topics that they may include, like system design they asked, or any projects
No, no,
about
no.
project they asked.
So, okay. So I'll tell you about the whole interview process. So the process is like, first you apply on their careers page, or sometimes the recruiter directly contacts you. So for this, you can have a good LinkedIn profile. You should have a good LinkedIn profile, because so that the recruiters can reach out to you. After that, they have it depends on the recruiter, but the whole process is like, first you have a phone screening round in which the recruiter will ask you some easy questions just to test you if you have some knowledge about computer science or not. Then there will be two telephonic interviews in which you'll have to come up with a solution in 45 minutes, and you have to code in a Google Doc. After that, they invite you to their offices. So if you're applying to Google India, they would you would have to go to Bangalore or Hyderabad. But now, because of this pandemic, obviously, it will be just like a telephonic interview. And in the on-site interview, they have 5 rounds. One round, which is known as a Googliness round, it basically tries to test how much collaborative you are, or if you have any leadership qualities or not. And then there are 4 rounds that are specifically dedicated to problem solving. So you are asked either one or two questions, and you have to come up with a solution in 45 minutes. You have to code it, you have to explain it, you have to write test cases and run your algorithm with those test cases. So all these things you have to do within 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think that gives an overview of to our students how to apply, how to prepare, etc. Okay.
Yes.
One last question. You want to share anything other than these questions to as a tipsy maybe, or you told that you were in the club, how to utilize that being a member of that club, like that. Any tips or suggestion
Yes.
that you can give it to all the viewers?
I think like what I learned from my mistakes, like, you should definitely invest your first year of your college very wisely. Like, you should try to explore as many things as you can. You can be a part of a robotics club or aerodynamics club, any club you want. You should explore many different fields, because after your first year you will not have much time, because your internship season will come, your placement season will come, and you will be busy in preparing for that. So invest your first year wisely. uh, try different things, and from those different things choose one thing on which you can spend your time, and you can improve on that skill. So explore different things, choose one thing, and spend the rest of your graduation in trying to become good in that field.
Okay, I'll pick the question from the audience now. You told
Sure.
that building the profile is very important, like updating our LinkedIn profile and all. So, what you can say about building the LinkedIn profiles or GitHub profiles that would help the students to land
Okay.
somewhere extent?
So, LinkedIn profile is important because sometimes a recruiter directly contacts you. So there were many of my friends who were directly contacted by the Google recruiter. They didn't even apply on their careers page. They were just directly contacted by the Google recruiter. So it's important that you should have a good LinkedIn profile. There you should list down your achievements in different competitions, and you should list down each and everything, so that the Google recruiter can have an idea about what type of person you are, and what skills or what benefits you can give to Google if you become a software engineer there. So you should have a good LinkedIn profile. And if you're interested in open source, or you are interested in development, you should have a good amount of projects on GitHub. You can try to post it on LinkedIn and show others that what you are doing, so that actually people can get benefit from your project. And you should try to include these things in your resume, like how your project helped others, what did it improve. So these things will definitely catch an eye of the recruiter, that you made a major contribution in this project. Also, if you are doing competitive coding, you can list down your ratings on different websites, or your ranks that you secure in competition. These things will obviously catch the eye of the person who is going through your resume. After you are scheduled an interview, these ranks or ratings or your profiles on different websites like GitHub, Codeforces, they are not going to help you. It's just your interview performance that will help you. So in order to get an interview call, these things matter, but after that, they don't matter.
Okay, that's good. We talked till now about computer science student as a computer science students. So, what you can say the students in other branches could they able to get into coding?
Yes, obviously they can come. Like there are many seniors from my college who are not from computer science, but still they are very good coders. It's just that if you can manage your time well, like you will have to study for your own branch, which will be totally different from computer science. So, like I said, you should study 2 weeks before, maybe, or 1 week before. You should realize that these marks are not going to take you anywhere. So you should manage your time well, and become even better from you can become even a better coder than a computer science student if you manage your time well.
Yeah, that's a very good discussion with you, Mr. Vijay. The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation. I once again congratulate Mr. Vijay for being placed at Google. And thank you, Vijay, for being part of this discussion and sharing your experience with us. I thank the management principal of VVCE for giving me this opportunity. I also thank our beloved HOD, Dr. Ravikumar V, for his constant support. And not least, but I thank all the participants who has participated in this discussion. Anything from your side, Vijay?
uh, just keep coding, and just be in a happy state of mind, and try to
Yeah,
keep yourself safe and healthy in this pandemic.
yeah. Thank you, Vijay. This is Usha
Thank you.
signing off. Thank you all.
Thank you.